Okay, what I'm going to do today is we have seen all the topics on the operating system. In fact, last week we were doing like a user view on operating system, uh, overview as well. And if you look at the internal view of OS, it's more or less like a summary of what we have covered on the OS. Let me run through that quickly before I switch over to a new topic today. I want to start with networking for this week so that we can finish it according to the schedule. Yeah. So, all right, this is internal view of OS, which I will run through quite fast because this is like a summary. This is like a wrap up of what we have covered all this while related to OS. Without an OS, what is OS, OS services, multitasking and multiprocessing, and types of OS. I will not go through into the detail. Reason we have done all these couple of weeks. I'll just run through, refresh everyone of what we have done, and then quickly I will change topic into networking. All right, previous topic we have covered OS overview, role of OS, hierarchical architecture of many layers of programs, user view, which we did a week before, hierarchical model of OS, the internal view. We did discuss about the primary kernel function as of last week or the week before last week. So by now, all of you should understand how the file manager in our operating system, either MS Windows 10 or Windows 8 or Linux or even uh, Unix works, yeah, if you're familiar with. And then we talk about I/O control system. We spend number of hours on dispatching, on interrupt, on registers, on memory management, and also on scheduling. I think we spend good number of times on all these topics. So by now, you as a student, you should be able to have some good understanding on all these topics. Bootstrapping, yeah, we did discuss about it, how bootstrap works. We talk about ROM, we talk about all kind of different types of ROM, different types of RAM, the function of ROM, the function of RAM. So I'm not going to repeat all those again. Hopefully, all those are still fresh in your mind. Yeah, process, we took a look at what we call task manager, how task manager work, process control block. What are the details in the process control block? Please pay attention. Please pay attention. Remember this, at least some of the details inside this process control block. It is a block. It is a block with a lot of information. If you want to know what are the information inside this process control block, the good way is to look at your task manager. All the details in the task managers are exactly is what we call process control block. I did share that with you. The process states, either it is in a ready state, running state, block state, suspend state, yeah, queue. You guys have covered all this even in your diploma certificate as well as now. Yeah, the process state diagram. I hope you still remember this when you covered your diploma level from new into ready, ready to running, and then will be block or suspend. And then when the interrupt or the block is over, will get terminated. Threads, we discussed about threads, sub-activities, or we call it mini process, loading and executing a process, CPU scheduling, dispatching, non-preempt, and we also discussed about preempt. And number of mechanisms that I have covered with you previously, first in, first out, shortest job first, and priority scheduling. First in, first out. Okay. I will cover number of exercises with you during the revision classes. So this is just an example how the first in, first out mechanism works. Yeah. Don't worry much about this for now. When we do revision, we will go through this exactly. Yeah. In order to calculate what is average time, turnaround time, and so on. Yeah, so I'll come back to these exercises later, not today, because we need to rush to finish the syllabus, and then you might do this during your local tutor, or you can do it during my revision class. How to calculate the average time, turnaround time, and so on. It's quite easy, yeah? It's quite easy and quite straightforward. Using different mechanism, first in, first out, shortest job first. Then we did talk about preamp dispatching. So you need to do, or you need to have a very good understanding on preamp and non-preamp. Huh? Round robin exercise. All these exercises will be done during your local tutors or will be done during my revision classes, not today. Primary kernel function, we did discuss about it last week. Memory management, we did discuss number of times. Internal and external fragmentation related to memory. I hope all of you understand what is fragmentation quite clearly. It is a way how your memory get organized from too many small blocks which are wasted or not use space. What the OS will do, the OS will try to rearrange all the blocks, blocks into a proper uh, arrangement so that less space on the storage is being used or being unutilized. So that's what we call fragmentation. There are two types of fragmentation, internal and external. Internal is where the memory has been assigned to a program that does not need it but can be used elsewhere. So we call it internal. Yeah. So there is a memory has been assigned to a program. This is like a, uh, within the memory. Whereas external, there is a memory that is not assigned, but it is too small to use. Like what you see here, this space here is too small. This space here is too small, cannot be used. So when you have a too small space that you cannot even put in one block, you cannot even use it for any saving purpose, we call that external fragmentation. Yeah, it's too small to use. When you have a block of this size, for example, you cannot slot in that into this small block or small space. We call that external fragmentation. It's all ended up will become what we call waste space. Unless you do defragmentation or fragmentation again, and then you might get some space. That's the reason why all tools, including a handphone, it comes with optimization tool, where you can optimize or defragment your uh, storage all the time. And it is a good exercise to do that so that your tools, your devices will perform at optimum performance. Virtual memory, we talk about it. So make sure you are quite clear what is virtual memory. You got to have some basic ideas on pages and frames. We talk about it during the memory. This is how you draw the memory, remember? And memory has memory addresses. Some of these slides or topics will be discussed again during the local tutors period or during my revision classes for you to have better understanding. It's very much better if we can discuss together with a question, pass your question, so that you will really understand how the question has been set up and then how to provide answers for the question. Page translation process, mapping, mapping of process or various processes, virtual memory trade-off, advantages and disadvantages, handling page fault, locality, page replacement algorithm, and other OS issues that we have discussed either during your diploma levels or basic levels, such as what is process synchronization, date lock, how to avoid or prevent date lock, how to detect and recover if it happens. Definitely we want to prevent it or we want to avoid it, but if it does happen, then how to detect and recover. Virtual machine, VM, different types of virtual machine, virtualization, hypervisor, also another type of virtual machine, and further reading. Okay, so those are the summary, wrap up for OS. So I think we have done quite a good discussion over a number of weeks on OS. So all of you need to have a very good understanding on what is OS, different types of OS, function of OS, all the terms related to operating systems such as interrupt, scheduling, different mechanism, fragmentation, internal and external, and all those topics related to OS. It is quite a wide area, but it all basic. Yeah, nothing really very specific or very technical or very high level, except one or two topics. Most of the topics are, I will consider all are very basic topics where the requirement of the subject is for you to have a very good understanding on what is OS, how operating system works, what are the related topics or areas which comes under operating system. So with that, we have covered almost 40 to 50% of the lessons in this subject, network and operating system. Definitely, we will relook again during the revision classes. That will happen during November, early November, before you guys go for the exam. Before you guys go for the exam. All right. I'm going to move on into networking and into network and data communication. Reason this is another huge topic, but what you're going to see today, or most of the slides that I'm going to run through with you today, are again very basic, very basic. Just give me a minute. There's a call. Just give me a minute. I don't know. Someone is trying to call me.